and welcome to my presentation, What Would Gogo Do? This presentation is based on two readings. First one by Professor Levi Obonyo, Self-Reflection as Primordial Framework of Ethics, and the second reading from Thaddeus, Metz, African Ethics and Journalism Ethics. Looking at the grandmother test. This is not literal. One does not need to have a grandmother physically present, but it is about drawing from the wisdom of a grandmother within a community. It speaks to duty ethics, that is duty to the family, to the community and immediate environment, rather than to mankind as in general. The grandmother test also speaks to that it's not encoded in gray, it's not written. It is within the orality of the community in proverbs, songs, folklore, etc. And the test may be applied together with other frameworks, particularly those drawn from the workplace. And it's not exclusive to African ethics. After all, who does not have a grandmother? Then African ethics and journalism ethics put together. How can these work together in newsrooms? Well, there's a sense of duty towards fellow mankind, the treating of relationships as a shared way of life, and also caring for the quality of life of other people, and providing truth about fundamental relationships, policies, and institutions in society. This is how the African ethics can inform journalism in the newsroom so that people can make free and informed choices about how they live together. The media is also obliged to present content that would be good for people in the sense that they can improve their quality of life. Where do these two converge? The two scholars seem to agree that there is space for African ethics and the grandmother test is an alternative ethical standard in the newsroom. And that the principles of respect, community, and moral fortitude, which are synonymous in African ethics, can be used in the newsroom too. The dissemination of accurate and useful information about fundamental aspects of society by providing platforms by which people can share ideas. However, I have a critique of both these scholars. The first one is that what if the grandmother's advice is not as sound as we think it is? What if it's steeped in hatred, resentment? And this is very closely associated with that African ethics tend to be rooted in ethnic and tribal grounds. There's a sense of them versus us almost always. And that perceptions of grandmas as well as the perception of grandmothers, as well as African ethics, is so diverse. Zulu ethics versus Igbo versus Shona versus Swahili, Kalenjin, Oshwambo, Damara, they can be very diverse. And so to refer them under this uniform term, African ethics, might prove to be erroneous. I leave it to you to think about these normative theories of ethics within the African context. Thank you so much for listening. Ndinotenda, ngiyabonga, asante sana.